My name is Maria Shaju. Let's have a discussion on the topic Electronic Communication Ports, an overview. Guided by Dr. Arun P., Associate Professor, Department of ECE, St. Joseph College of Engineering and Technology, Palai. Contents: Introduction, History, Why is it important, Different types of ports, Protocols in communication port, Challenges, Recent developments, Leading manufacturers, Conclusion, Preference. Introduction. A port is a pair of terminals that connects an electrical network or circuit to an external circuit as a point of entry or exit for electrical energy in electrical circuit theory. A way of passage of data from computer to other peripheral devices. Mouse, keyboard, monitor or display unit, printer, speaker, flash drive are some of the peripheral devices. This is the image of different types of port. History. The first port RCA connector was invented in 1930. In 1969 and 1970, well-known ports such as serial and parallel ports as well as RJ ports were invented. With the advancement of television and computers in 1987, various video ports such as S-Video and VGA ports as well as PS/2 were invented. Component video was invented in 1990. The USB port, which is one of the most widely used ports, was invented in 1996. In 1999, digital video interference port was invented, and in 2000, eSATA was introduced. 2002 showed the introduction of HDMI port. In 2006, DisplayPort was invented. Here, the further developments of USB and HDMI ports are shown. In 2000, 2008, 2012, and 2013, different versions of USB like USB 2.0, USB 3.0, USB BTD, USB 3.1 was introduced. In 2015 and 2017, versions of HDMI ports were introduced like HDMI 2.0 and HDMI 2.1, and USB-C was introduced. Why is it important? Ports act as a connection between computer and the external devices. All data, including video, audio, all are shared using with the help of ports. Understanding the different types of ports on a computer can help us understand the value each provides and maximize the functionality of your computer. Different types of port. Ports are categorized mainly into four types. Network and communication ports, which contain serial port, parallel ports, RJ45 and RJ11. Audio and video ports consist of RCA connector, VGA port, digital video interface, display port, component video, S-Video, HDMI port. USB keyboard and mouse contains PS/2 USB port. Wireless ports consist of infrared port, Bluetooth port, IRDA port, fireware port. Serial ports. It is a two-way communicator used for long distance. Found at the back of the computer, used by sensors for data acquisition. Information transferred in or out sequentially, one bit at a time. Mainly two types, DB25 and DB9. As the name suggests, it has 25 pins for DB25 and 9 pins for DB9. This is the pin diagram of a serial port. These are the technical specifications of serial port. Cabling, single-ended, number of devices, one transmit, one receive, communication mode, full duplex. Advantages. Only one wire needed to transmit 8 bits. Lesser cable cost. Disadvantages. Takes 8 times longer to transmit data. Applications include used to connect equipment together. Used for inter-processor communication. Used to interface onboard peripherals. Used in following devices: printers, telescope, serial mouse, UPS. Parallel ports. A multiple connector allow data to be sent down multiple cable at the same time. Transfer one or more bytes simultaneously. Found on the back of the computer and parts of the motherboard. This is the pin diagram of a parallel port. These are the technical specifications of a parallel port. Length 2.3 cm, hot pluggable, usually not. External connection is required, yes. Cable up to 25 wires, including ground. Advantages: faster, send multiple bits at once. Disadvantages: require more interconnect traces, expensive cable. Application include providing surface to connect multiple lines, parallel communication to send large data at a time, used in following devices: graphical printers. RJ45 and RJ11. A network port. Jack server as the interface for telecommunication as well as the data network. Connects computers onto Ethernet based. RJ11 is a connector that is frequently used in analog telephony to join the cable and phone equipment. It is still utilized by landlines and is mostly used to connect modems nowadays. Since it has 6 pins and a 4-slot connection, an RJ45 slot cannot accommodate it. To link telephone communications, which are technically distinct from Ethernet cables, in PSTN, telephone lines in a common usage for it. RJ45. RJ45 connectors have 8 pins and they are typically used to connect Ethernet cables to a switch or serial data modem. It is used for both telecom and data networks. RJ means registered jack. This is the pin diagram of a RJ port. Advantages: the ability to deliver electrical power to the connected devices. Low cost. Disadvantages: not suitable for traffic intensive applications. Applications include used to connect Ethernet, used to connect to telephone, used in following devices: computer, telephone. RCA connector. It is also known as audio jacks or phono connector. Carry both audio and video signals associated with analog audio cables. RCA connector is color coded. White or black is used for stereo left channel, red is used for right audio channel, and yellow for composite video. The back of the audio and video equipment frequently has this trio of jacks. These are the technical specification of a RCA connector. Diameter 0.354 inches. Cable coaxial. Advantages: highly affordable, easy to work. Disadvantages: create a possible failure point and often slightly reduce the signal going through them. Application include used to send several different audio video signals. Used in following devices: VCR, DVD. VGA port. Standard connector used for computer video output. VGA connectors carry analog RGBHV video signals. Provides color display screens with 640 x 480 resolution, 60 Hz refresh rate, and 16 colors exhibited at a time. This is the pin diagram of a VGA port. Technical specifications. Hot pluggable depends. Pins 15. Connector DE15. Advantages. The connection of various kinds of electronic devices can be easily done like TVs, computers, CRT, monitors, etc. Disadvantages. Output quality is low. Application include used for display devices. Used in following devices. Televisions, monitors. Digital visual interface. High-speed digital interface that connects a display controller. It was designed to transmit lossless digital video signals and to replace analog VGA technology. Classified into three types based on the signals they can carry: DVI-1, DVI-D, and DVI-A. The highest resolution capabilities of the video source or video destination are indicated by single and dual link DVI. Single link and dual link are the highest resolutions available, about 2560 into 16,000 at a refresh rate of 60 Hz. DVI-A carries just analog data and no digital data. DVI-D simply transmits digital video and has no analog components. DVI-1 connects both analog and digital components by combining DVI-A and DVI-D connectors. DVI pin diagram. Technical specification of a DVI port. Hot pluggable, yes. External, yes. Video signal digital video stream, single link and dual link. Analog video stream, pins 29. Bitrate for single link 3.96 Gbps per second, dual link 7.92 Gbps per second. Maximum devices 1. Advantages. Carries signal much better than VGA. Better backward compatibility. Better picture quality and look more realistic. Application include used to connect a video source. Disadvantages. Digital analog cable could not connect to the analog port. DVI-1 port does not insert in the single link port. Used in following devices: television, monitors. Display port. Digital display interface that can also carry multiple channels of audio and other data. Can support resolutions of up to 7680 into 4320. Has a 20-pin connector. This is the pin diagram of a display port. These are the technical specifications. Hot pluggable, yes. External, yes. Pins, mini DIN6. Protocol, micro packet. Advantages. Higher bandwidth and lower cost. Ability to output to multiple displays through multi-stream transport. Disadvantages. Inability to transmit Ethernet data. Application include used to connect devices or monitors to a source device. Used in following devices: computer monitors. Component video. An interface in which audio signals are split into more than two channels. Transmit only video signals and requires two separate connectors for stereo audio. Both analog and digital video signals can be transmitted through a component video port. Three wires, green, blue, and red, are used in component video to transfer different parts of the audio signal. Component video divides the visual signals into three cables. Signal brightness information is sent through the green wire, often known as Y. The blue and red portions of the picture's color are sent through the blue and red wires, which is referred to the PB and PBR respectively. With the help of these three signals, green components may be inferred. Advantages: highly affordable, easy to work. Disadvantages: creates a possible failure point and often slightly reduce the signal going through them. Application include supports high definition video signals up to 1080. Standard output for DVD players. Used in following devices: DVD players, video game consoles, computers. S-video, known as separate video, only used to transmit video signals. Transmit electrical signals over wire to represent original video. Transmit video signals over a cable. Advantages: carries videos or pictures through single low quality signal, higher quality than composite video. They carry only the video components of a movie or television program. HDMI, high definition multimedia interface, multimedia transmission, transmit audio and video through one cord, found on the video cards or motherboard of back of computer. HDMI port pin diagram. Technical specifications: hot pluggable, yes. External, yes. Pins 19. Advantages: carry both audio and video, high video resolution. Disadvantages: expensive, unable to run multiple applications at multiple locations at the same time. Applications include view pictures on computer, transport high bandwidth data, used in following devices: television, laptop, set-top box. Since HDMI port has a great development in its cable, it is mainly Type A, Type C, Type D. Type A has 19 pins and is the biggest HDMI connection in terms of size. Commonly used in TVs, laptop, PCs, video game consoles, and Blu-ray players are those HDMIs. HDMI Type-C or Mini HDMI. Like Type A connection, Type-C HDMI provides the same characteristics, but compared to Type A and B HDMI connection, they are more compact and slender. Tablets, DSLR cameras, and smartphones typically have access to it. HDMI Type D or Micro HDMI. This smallest HDMI connection has a 19-pin design and provides the same functions as other HDMI connectors. In addition to other gadgets, it is useful for cell phones and tiny cameras. PS by 2. It is a 6-pin mini DIN connection that is used to connect keyboard or computer mouse to IBM compatible computer. Actively interacts with computer. Bidirectional half duplex line. Carry data in both direction. This is the pin diagram of a PS by 2. Pin 1 indicates data. Pin number 2 describes no connection. Pin number 3 describes ground. Pin number 4 describes plus 5 volt. Pin number 5 describes clock. Pin number 6 describes no connection. Technical specification: hot pluggable, no. External, yes. Cable 4 wires plus shield. Pins 6. Connector mini DIN 6. Signal 5 volt DC. Protocol serial. Advantages: no compatibility issue. Flexible port. Different varieties available. Disadvantages: low bandwidth, only designed for old mouse and keyboard. Application include providing surface to connect multiple lines, parallel communication to send large data at a time. Used in following devices: old mouse, old keyboard. USB port, universal serial bus port, is used to connect computer with peripheral device. Used for charging portable products. Can usually be found on the side or back of the computer or on the peripheral device. This is the pin diagram of a female length. Pin number 1 indicates plus 5 volts. Pin number 2 means minus data. Pin number 3 means plus data. 4 indicates ground. So USB port is of mainly USB-A, USB-B, mini USB, micro USB and USB-C. USB-A, the most well-known USB type is USB-A. Most people use USB-A with laptop or power outlets. For charging, you need to plug the USB-A side into a computer, laptop or USB port. There is just one way a USB-A cable can fit into the port. Typically, the USB sign printed on the top will indicate which side up they should be placed. Make sure the cable is inserted correctly to avoid harming the cable or the device. USB-B. External hard drives and printers are typically connected to PCs using USB-B connectors. They are less common than the other USB cable varieties. Mini USB. Mini USB connection is substantially smaller. It can connect devices like MP3 players and cameras. Micro USB. Micro USB was formerly the most common USB port and is still accessible on many old devices. The ability to read data without a computer is made possible by this type of link. To your mobile device, for instance, you can immediately connect flash drives or memory sticks. Micro USB cables like USB-A cables can only fit into ports if they are installed correctly. To prevent any damage, be sure the micro USB cable matches the form of the port. USB-C. USB-C connector are the most current USB evolution. Your phone can charge more fast due to USB-C connections, high-speed data transfers, and increased power flow. Additionally, USB-C cables are reversible and may be connected in many manners. Different generations of USB. USB 1.x. USB 1.0, which was introduced in January 1919, called for signaling rates of 1.5 Mbits per second. Due to timing and power restrictions, extension cables were not permitted. Before USB 1.1 was released to August 1998, a few USB devices were commercially viable. The first generation of USB, known as 1.1, saw widespread adoption and gave rise to what Microsoft called the legacy-free PC. USB 2.0. In addition to USB 1.x full speed signaling rate of 12 Mbits per second, theoretically data throughput 1.2 Mbits per second, USB 2.0 introduced a higher maximum signal rate of 480 Mbits, known as high speed or high bandwidth. USB 3.0. USB 3.0 specification was released in 12 November 2008. With its related backward compatible connectors, receptacles, and cables, USB 3.0 introduces a super speed transfer option. Standard format receptacles with blue inserts and a distinctive branding designate them as a super speed receptacles and plugs. Later, USB 3.1 was released in July 2003, USB 3.2 in September 2017. USB 3.0 introduced UASP protocol. USB 4. The USB Implementers Forum released the USB 4 specification on August 29, 2019. So, different versions of USB developed along the years. Advantages: small, robust connector system, low cost, variety of connectors available, and size types. Disadvantages: limited capability and overall performance. Data transfer not as fast some other systems. Application include have multiple host controllers. Used in following devices: mouse, keyboard, smartphone. This is the description about wireless ports like infrared port. Wireless connection of data through infrared rays, range of 10 meter. Data showing input through infrared rays. Advantages: they do not require contact with the object for detection. It provides secure communication. It provides good stability over time. Disadvantages: the required line of sight, limited range, support a shorter range. The transmission data rate is low. Applications include enables wireless connection of data through infrared rays, act as a transmitter or receiver for infrared data exchange, used in following devices: laptops, personal digital assistants, cell phones, calculators. Bluetooth port, wireless communication and exchange of data over short range, 10-meter range. Advantages: it avoids interference from other wireless devices. It is easily upgradable. It has low power consumption. Disadvantages: it can lose connection in certain conditions. It allows only short range communication between devices. Security is a very key aspect as it can be hacked. Applications: enables wireless connection of data through infrared rays, act as a transmitter or receiver for infrared data exchange, used in following devices: mobiles, headset, wireless speakers. IRDA ports, Infrared Data Association, devices to transmit data or printer without any additional cables. Advantages: point to point communication. It has low cost. It transfers data up to 1 meter. Disadvantages: the area for data transfer is very less. How to keep the device stable when transferring data. It allows one device at a time. Applications: to send a document from a notebook computer to a printer. Point to shoot communication from peer to peer is a main characteristic of this protocol. Used in following devices: printer, computer. Fireware port, also called IEEE 1394, connect personal computers, transfer large amount of data in high speed, handle up to 63 units on the same bus. Advantages: to transfer power to the device through the same data transfer cable. Disadvantages: it is more expensive. Applications include to connect personal computers, audio and devices, and other personal and consumer electronics. Used in following devices: computers, external hard drive, cam recorders. Ports make it easier for the computer and the devices to communicate. Network and communication ports, audio and video ports, USB, keyboard, mouse ports, and wireless ports are discussed. Protocols in communication port. There are two types of protocols: serial communication protocol and parallel communication protocol. SPI protocol. SPI is a common communication protocol that is used by different devices. SD card reader modules, RFID card reader modules, and 2.4 GHz wireless transmitter or receiver, for example, all use SPI to communicate with microcontroller. One distinct advantage of SPI is the ability to transfer data without interruption. A continuous stream of bits can send or receive any number of bits. Data sent in packets of a fixed size with I2C and UART. Because start and stop conditions define the beginning and end of each packet, data transmission is interrupted during transmission. RS-232 Communication Protocol. RS-232 is a serial communication standard that is used to connect computers and their peripheral device to allow serial data exchange, as it obtains the voltage for data exchange path between the devices. It is used for serial communication up to 50 feet long at 1.492 kilobits per second. According to EIA, the RS-232 is used to connect data transmission equipment and data connection equipment. The Universal Asynchronous Data Receiver and Transmitter is a device used in conjunction with RS-232 to transfer data between a printer and a computer. Because microcontrollers cannot handle such high voltage levels, connectors are used to connect RS-32 signals. IC square I2C combines the best characteristics of both SPI and UARTs. I2C allows you to connect multiple slaves to a single master and have multiple masters control single or multiple slaves. This is extremely useful when more than one microcontroller is logging data to a single memory card or displaying text to a single LCD. I2C transfers data in the form of messages. Messages are divided into data frames. Each message data contains an address frame containing the slave's binary address and one or more data frames containing the data being transmitted. Parallel Communication Protocol IEEE 488. IEEE 488 is the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers standard number 488, also known as GPIB, General Purpose Interface Bus. This standard was created in 1978, 13 years after Hewlett Packard HP of Palo Alto, California began working to enable its diverse range of instruments to communicate with one another and with host computers. When compared to the alternatives at time of the development, the IEEE 488 protocol was particularly well suited for instrument applications. IEEE 488 is essentially a bus on the cable with 8 parallel data transfer lines and 8 dedicated control lines. Given the demands of the time, Its nominal 1 megabits per second maximum data transfer rate appeared adequate. Even today, the GPIB interface is powerful enough for many highly sophisticated and demanding applications. Industry Standard Architecture Protocol. The 16-bit internal bus of IBM PC by 80 and similar computers based on Intel 80286 and its immediate successors in 1980s was known as Industry Standard Architecture. The bus was backward compatible with 8-bit bus of 8088 based IBM PC as well as IBM PC compatibles. Originally known as the PC bus or 80 bus. In the late 1980s or early 1990s, competing PC clone manufacturers coined the term ISA as retronym in response to IBM's attempt to replace the 80 bus with its new and incompatible microchannel architecture. Peripheral Component Interconnect Protocol. The Peripheral Component Interconnect bus is an expansion bus standard created by Intel that gained popularity around 1994. It was used to add extra serial or USB ports, network interfaces, sound cards, modems, disk controllers, or video cards. Many devices that previously required an expansion card can be now connected via a quick USB 2.0 or 3.0 link. Furthermore, video cards now require far more bandwidth than PCI can provide. Challenges. A small communication port is the development into a big concern. A firm might suffer from inefficient communication port connections if its technicals lack the skills and knowledge to recognize and fix communication port issues. Some of the challenges are incorrect communication parameters, incorrect serial cable, software conflicts, faulty wiring, cost. Incorrect communication parameters. Incorrect communication parameter settings are the most common cause of serial port communication issues. To function properly, both devices must be conferred with same communication parameters, which include baud rate, parity, number of data bits, number of stop bits. Interconnect serial cable. A serial port is a physical connector located on the back of a computer that allows for data input and output. Another important cable feature that is frequently overlooked is whether the application calls for a null modem or straight-through cable. Straight-through cables typically have a female connector on one end and a male connector on the other end of a full modem cable. Software conflicts. A faulty software driver may result in non-operational serial port. If this driver is not properly installed or is incompatible with the serial port, it may fail to function. Reinstalling the affected drivers can assist a user in overcoming this issue. Furthermore, a user may not be able to change the serial port settings to ensure the problem is completely solved. Faulty wiring. Incorrect wiring can be a problem when connecting a control system to a device. Control systems transmit and ground pins must typically be connected to the connected device's receiver and ground pins. However, if a connected system requires a response for a control system, a third wire must be connected as well. Cost. Increased cost is another challenge that ports face. This can be due to manufacturing and shipping. If the port face issues, sometimes fixing them can also cause high cost. Therefore, usage of incorrect cables or incorrect setup of a cable can deactivate a port. Recent developments. Ports are used for communication in day-to-day life. Some of the mentioned above ports are not used today. Some of the main use ports today and their developments are as follows. HDMI port. HDMI ports are now the standard ports used for video and audio. Recent development introduced HDMI 2.0 and HDMI 2.1 in 2015 and 2017. USB ports. USB ports are now the standard ports used for all sorts of connections. Recent development introduced USB 3.0 in 2021. Leading manufacturers. Some of the leading manufacturers of electronic components are Intel Corporation, Samsung Semiconductor, Qualcomm, SK Hynix, Texas Instruments, Broadcom, Micron Technology, TE Connectivity, TDK Corporation, MediaTek. Intel Corporation. Intel Corporation, one of the largest producers of electronic parts and top revenue producer. Intel is based in United States. The brand is well known and reputable throughout the world. One of the largest producers of electronic parts and a top revenue producer. Intel is based in United States. The brand is well known for its main products as hardware components for desktop computers and laptop, hardware components for server, network and storage, memory solutions. Samsung Semiconductor. The largest manufacturer and exporter of memory chip is Samsung Semiconductor, which has its headquarters in South Korea. The company's total revenue is up to there with Intel's. Their main products are DRAM, SSD, e-storage, MCP, processor, image sensor, security solutions, display I, power IC. Qualcomm. Qualcomm is the global manufacturer of semiconductors and telecommunications gear based in United States. In terms of revenue, it is the third largest corporation of its kind in the world. Their main products are chips for mobile phones, low power SoCs, processors for smartphone. SK Hynix, South Korean company SK Hynix manufactures memory semiconductors. It is the third largest semiconductor company in the world and the second largest manufacturer of memory chips. In terms of revenue, it is the fourth largest manufacturer of electronic components worldwide. Their main products are computing and network memory, graphics memory, mobile memory. Texas Instruments. Texas Instruments, after SK Hynix, is the fifth largest revenue generating company. In both analog and digital signal processing, it leads the globe. Their cutting edge analog and DSP technologies, together with other semiconductor devices, assist clients in satisfying the demands of actual signal processing. Their main products are semiconductors, amplifiers, and linear audio devices, automotive parts, parts for broadband, clocks and timers, data converters. Broadcom. Broadcom is a company based in United States that is the sixth largest in terms of revenue generation. The firm creates, develops and manufactures a wide range of semiconductor and infrastructure software solutions. Their main products are wireless embedded solutions and RF components, storage adapters, controllers, and ICs. Micron Technology. Micron Technology is the seventh largest revenue generating company in this list, based in United States. It is well known for its computer memory and data storage solutions. It sells consumer goods under the brand name Crucial and Ballistics. Their main products are DRAM and DRAM modules, graphic memory, managed NAND, multi-chip packages, NAND flash. TE Connectivity. TE Connectivity is a Swiss company. The company creates connectivity and sensor products for a variety of industries, including automotive, industrial equipment, data communication, aerospace, defense, medical, oil, and gas, consumer electronics, and energy. Their main products are DRAM, SRAM, wireless embedded solutions and RF components, storage adapters, controllers and ICs, fiber channel networking, broadband, CPE gateway, infrastructure and set-top box. TDK Corporation. TDK Corporation, the largest manufacturer. It is the leading manufacturer and exporters of electronic components and devices. The company produces a wide variety of electronic components. Their main products are capacitors, inductors, EMC components, RF components, and modules voltage, current, temperature protection device sensors, and sensor system ceramic switching. MediaTek. Taiwanese company MediaTek chips for wireless communications, HDTV, navigation systems, multimedia products, and optical disc drives are among the company's most well-known products. Their main products are processors for smartphones and tablets, modem wearable devices, Internet of Things, wireless connectivity, GNSS modules, digital television, SoCs. Conclusion. Ports serve as a point of attachment for cables from peripheral devices, allowing data to flow from and to the device. The history of various ports is displayed to demonstrate how various ports have been introduced. The importance of ports aids in the familiarization of computer functionality. A port overview is performed in order to identify various ports. Various protocols used on ports are being explored. The challenges that ports face are studied. Recent HDMI and USB advancements have occurred in the last few years. Leading electronic port manufacturers are explored. Reference. Thank you.